My name is Minister Eugene Piernas, and I'm just here tonight to hopefully encourage you tonight. There has been a lot going on in the world, and I understand that that situations can affect you differently depending on what you're going through. I understand that it's a pandemic going on, and people are dealing with this virus, and people are dealing with unemployment. And let's be real, people were having issues even before the pandemic, and maybe the pandemic has just added on to what you're already going through. But I just come to encourage you to not give up. I remember that there have been times in my life where I thought that giving up was my best option. And if you allow yourself to dwell on your situation or your circumstances long enough, what will happen is your mind will be tricked into believing that giving up is your best option. But I'm here as a testimony to let you know that giving up is a selfish decision. Yeah, I'm even talking to me. Giving up is a selfish decision. Giving up is such a selfish decision. See, I remember some times where I had my heart broken and I thought that suicide was my best option. I remember one time a person had left my life, and the way that they left my life, the circumstances in which they left my life had messed me up so badly that I actually considered committing suicide. And what happened to me was that, I had some people who came to talk to me, and I actually had a friend who actually called me and was like, this is not the way to go about things. This is not the way. I understand that you're hurting. I understand that what this has done to you, but suicide is not your best option. And then what happened was she even went as far as to call the police, to send the police to my house to make sure that that option did not come to pass. And so I bless God for people like that. But I said that to say this: suicide is a selfish decision. Giving up is a selfish decision. Imagine this. Imagine what your life what life would be like for the people who do care. Imagine what life would be like for the people who do really love you. Because let's be honest, there are those who blatantly show that they care nothing about you. And then there are those who make it intentional to show you that they love you. So let's block out the people for a moment. Just block out the people who have blatantly shown that they don't care about you, have blatantly gone out of their way to disrespect you, have blatantly gone out of their way to hurt your feelings or to break your heart. I've been there. But let's take a second to block them out for a second. What do you think life would be like if you made the decision to give up? What do you think life would be like for the people who really are on your team, who are rooting for your success, who are rooting for you to make it? I was told when I was going through some things that I had gone through, someone made this statement to me, and I thank God that they made this statement to me, and it still sticks with me to this day. And they simply told me this: the people who are assigned to your purpose are waiting for your example. Let me say that again. The people who are assigned to your purpose are waiting for your example. So what do you do when your heart is broken? What do you do when you don't feel like you have anybody to talk to? What do you do when you feel like, the tears are never going to stop? What do you do? Can I tell you what I did? And I know this is not widely talked about, or this is not talked about maybe in the churches so much, or maybe it's not a popular decision, but guess what I did? I went and saw a psychiatrist. I went and sought help. I went and sought help because I discovered that I was not going to get through it by myself because I am too involved in my own situation. And I'm too involved in my own circumstances to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So what I had to do was I had to seek help in order to get me back closer to a path that reaches a better destination. A better destination. And what I always tell people when it comes to if you want to quit something, you ought to try quitting not being negative to yourself. Quit the negativity in your life. Quit feeding yourself negativity. Quit telling yourself that you can't do it. Maybe the way that you did it just wasn't the way to get it done at that point, but there's still a way to get through. I come as an encouragement tonight just to tell you that whatever you're going through is nothing too hard for you to get through. As long as there is breath in your body, you can make it. If I was preaching, I would say it this way: there's nothing that you're going through that has not gone through God first. Let me say that again. There's nothing that you're going through that has not gone through God first. Everything that you have gone through was predestined and designed specifically for you. It was designed specifically for you to not only get through, but to seek how to get through it, to learn and to grow and to be better. I think if this pandemic has taught me anything, it has taught me that I need to seek more ways in doing things. I cannot just become complacent or comfortable in the way that I live my life, because the way that I live my life could change at any second. At any second, I could be in the unemployment line. At any second, I could be sick with a deadly disease. At any given second, the breath in my body could be taken from me. What this pandemic has also taught me is that I'm not in control of anything in my life. The circumstances in my life, though they came, they don't control me and I don't control them. It is all in the hands of God. It is all in the hands of the one who created me. And like I said, I had to get closer to God. I had to grow closer. Because even in the things that I participated with, in church, I'm singing in the choir and I'm doing praise and worship and I'm preaching and I'm giving encouraging words and I'm doing all of this. And all of a sudden, I fall into what I fell into, and all of a sudden, all of that doesn't make sense to me anymore. But that's because I allowed the enemy or allowed things and my circumstances to retrain my thinking and to trick me into believing that I couldn't make it, I wasn't going to make it, there was no way out. But then that light at the end of the tunnel came. That light at the end of the tunnel came, and I began to see things differently. I began to see things with a different perspective, with a more positive perspective. I began to see things as a winner, and I began to see things as a victor and not a victim. So if I can encourage you, stop classifying yourself as a victim. Stop rehearsing the things in your past and the things that happened to you. Stop playing the victim. And recognize that there is a spot at the winner's circle for you. You can beat whatever it is that you're going through. You can make it through whatever it is that you're going through. I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter what you're going through, but the circumstances that you're going through, as long as you are willing to fight, you can make it. I had to learn for myself, as long as you give God effort, He'll give you excellence. Not only did not giving up put me in a better place, physically, but it put me in a better place spiritually. It put me in a better place mentally. I remember I went through a windshield from the middle of the back seat in 2003. I was one of 5 people in that car. And I can't tell you what happened I can tell you what happened the moments before I got out the car. I could tell you, or before the windshield. I could tell you the moments after they got me out of the car, wheeling me to the helicopter to air vac me to the hospital that was taking care of me. And what ended up happening was I ended up going from the middle of a back seat to a windshield. I ended up being air vac'd from the freeway to John Muir Hospital in Walnut Creek. The injuries were so bad that the regular surgeon wasn't able to do the surgery. They had to send me to the trauma unit. And the trauma unit saw that the injuries were so bad that they had to get the plastic surgeon to come up and do the surgery. Here's the part of the story that I don't normally tell, but I'll tell it this time. The girlfriend that was sitting next to the girlfriend that I was with at the time was sitting right next to me. And while I'm in the hospital healing, she's out figuring out her next move. She showed up to the hospital room with the person that she later left me for. Here's what God did for me. I was out of the hospital after all of those injuries. I was out of the hospital in a day and a half, and I was back at my job in 30 days. No broken bones, no memory loss, no injuries, no lifelong effects from what I had gone through. And even better than that, me and that young lady still talk to this day. So not only did God heal me physically, but he healed me emotionally, he healed me spiritually, he healed me psychologically. And I'm telling you that what God has done for me who grew up with a disability that nobody understands, but that can physically be seen. For me, for somebody who people in church still make fun of. For me, someone who God plucked out of the garden of obscurity and allowed me to work in his vineyard. I believe God kept me just so that I can encourage you. I believe God kept me just so that I can tell you that you can make it. I believe God kept me so that I can tell you that you are going to make it through this. Doesn't matter what your this is, you're going to make it. I learned to encode Philippians 4:13 into my lifestyle. Philippians 4:13 simply says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I dare you, I double dog dare you to allow the Lord to be your strength. I double dog dare you to allow the Lord to be your comforter, to be that which you need. Here's what else I learned. I learned that my prayer life is not based on the how do I want to put this? The random things that you may have grown up and learned in church. But God answered my prayers through my honesty. I told God when I was hurting, and he came and he healed me. I told God how much it felt like I wasn't going to be able to handle what it was that I was going through, and he brought me out. I told God how much I didn't even, can I be honest? I told God I didn't want to live anymore. And I told him to take me. And yet he did what he wanted to do. And in his perfect will, I have been given peace. I have been given joy. I have been given a mended heart. I have been given a sound mind. Despite what people think, say, or think they know about me, God has been good to me. And I'm telling you one more time, what he's done for me, I guarantee you, if you try him, he will do the same for you.